All right.
So I
Let's
think it's
watch
safe to
this
say
video.
that things have gotten 10 times worse for Kris Tyson, as I have uncovered within the past few hours some really damning information regarding Kris Tyson and a then 13-year-old that Kris was allegedly talking to years ago when Kris was around 20 years old, an adult. Now, before we get into what I have recently
God
found, I
bless.
just wanted to give a special shout out to the person who originally brought this to
Prism.
light, the person who had investigated all of this and provided all of the receipts, and also including all of the information that we went over yesterday, because apparently the same person who has put out the information on these new allegations was the same person who obtained these tweets. So props to them for all of this information. Now,
I've seen some stuff on Twitter, but I haven't watched the video yet.
Of yesterday's video, that at the end of the video we went over a pinned comment from a user who actually happens to be the same guy who has been covering this on his channel and who's brought today's information to light. And if you guys do remember, in that comment, Prism went over how apparently he tried to get EDP445 to talk about this, essentially to bring more attention to it, and eventually after EDP445 stopped cooperating with him, he decided to try Kris Chan.
I forgot about
EDP,
bro.
I don't really know if that was the best idea, because as you guys may know, Kris Chan and EDP445 don't have the best reputations, nor are they really that credible. Now, a little bit further in the comment, he talks about
this guy sucks at Mario.
Kris Tyson allegedly messaged a 14-year-old and jokingly flirted and talked about sending nudes to him. Now, just based off of this part in the comment, I found it to be really odd, and I had never heard of apparently Kris Tyson messaging a 14-year-old, so I figured I would do a little bit of research, and it actually turns out that Prism here made around a month ago a 40-minute long video that we're going to be going over today, and I have gone ahead and I have pre-watched it, and all I'm going to tell you right now before we get into it is that the ages match up, and it looks really bad. Now, I can't say all of this is true 100% or anything like that. It's all allegations. You know, take the things that you see here with a grain of salt. I know based off of what we went over yesterday, you might think that Kris Tyson
I know Flight is somewhere kicking his feet right now out of pure joy.
In my opinion, I wouldn't really jump on that real quick, because we don't know if 100% Kris is a pedophile or predator or whatever. We just know that Kris has done some really weird things in his past over on Twitter. So without further ado, let's get into it. So based off of Prism's video, he has decided to keep the alleged at the time 13-year-old's name private for the most part, and he refers to this person as BW. He uses their initials, and they also go by the screen
13
name
is
of Lava
crazy.
GS. Now, essentially what happened and how it happened, according to Prism here, is Kris Tyson started a friendship with somebody who was 13 years old at the time when they were 20 years old. Now, just for
that's already
context here, the then 13-year-old actually happens to be the same age as me and is currently, as of 2024, 20 years old. Just keep that in mind as we go forward.
I guess that's not that weird.
Kris Tyson,
like just being friends with somebody that young, because when I was younger, I was friends with like a lot of my brother's friends who were a lot older.
Kris Tyson started an online friendship with this guy when he was only 13 years old. Now, the problem with that is Kris Tyson was born in July of 1996.
Like, if it was just a friendship, I feel like there's something wrong with it.
was born on November 12th, 2003. The problem with that is that there's a 7-year age gap. So when you started socializing with this guy online and building an online connection in some sort of friendship.
Wait, is Kris bi?
You know, you talking to this guy, playing video games with him, socializing.
Okay, if you're bi, then that's kind of weird.
And you were in college, you were 20 years old.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but it's not like,
talk about
not
is
crazy.
Why is it that someone who is in college, who's like a sophomore or junior at that point, what are you doing making friends with a middle schooler?
So yeah, I mean, so far,
yeah, that's a little weird, actually.
It's already looking bad. Like, this is definitely not something that Kris should have been doing, and I'm not really too sure if he knew that, like, he shouldn't have been doing that in really any capacity at all, because at the least, it's really fucking weird. But it really makes it worse when you factor in that artwork, that quote-unquote artwork that we went over yesterday in yesterday's video. And another thing that I think is really important here is that Kris Tyson at the time was bisexual. bisexual. And it's like, once again,
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, what are you
Then, yeah,
doing
that's weird.
being 20 years old, you know, interacting with people that young? It's like, you don't have friends. Like, I mean, we all know that Kris had friends. I mean, for God's sake, you know, it's like, he's been friends
Yeah,
with Jimmy
true.
for how long? Since childhood? Like, it
Oh,
really
man,
can't
the
be
OG
that
pics of
hard to
Kris
go
just
out
hit
and find
different.
friends that are actually around your age group. Another thing that is mentioned too, besides the two things that we just went over, is that apparently Prism has also noted that they communicated one-on-one and unattended. And yeah, that's where this starts getting bad, like really bad. If you thought it was bad before, well, just think about bad, but times 10. Because Prism goes into detail about how apparently Kris made Prism a moderator, and also even worse than that, and I know this is going to be stereotypical, but yeah, also Prism goes into detail about how apparently Lava had Kris added on Snapchat. Like, I know some of you guys in the audience.
Okay, that is kind of weird.
Yeah, it looks like Kris is kind of cooked. But
Discord,
yeah,
I could see maybe, but
Snap from Kris. And then, as you guys can see right here, there's a screenshot of the snap up in the left-hand top corner. There, you can see
hello,
from Christopher, and then there's a picture of Kris in front of the American flag, and there's text that Kris displayed. And
wait,
the
was
text
this
says "Coming for America,"
Snapchat?
like CUMMING.
Wait, is this a story or is this just like a snap?
Lava right here, if you do the math, with this being January 26, 2019,
okay, Snapchat
Lava
is
right
weird.
here would have been 15 years old. And as for how old Kris would be here, Kris would have been 22 and a half years old. So yeah, by just knowing that, like, why in any context would you send something like that to somebody that you most likely know is 15 years old while you are 22 years old? Like, I have a feeling that people are going to argue, well, this is a joke or something by Kris. You know, Kris is a funny guy. He's the meme god. But this right here is not a joke.
You shouldn't be making jokes.
Somebody who is 7 years
literally.
you, and to somebody who is a minor. Now, moving a little bit further in the video, Prism talks about how Kris and Lava met, and that was apparently because Lava won a challenge that Mr. Beast was
saying things like that to
Lava
minors.
received a signed knife from Mr. Beast.
When he was 16, he was in a Mr. Beast video. He asked Jimmy, "How hard do you want it?" 68 million people have seen it. What I want to start out with is when this guy was really young, he won some sort of competition or was involved, and he DM'd Mr. Beast on Twitter and got sent a knife.
Oh wait, that's actually kind of sick.
Like 12 or something.
Ooh, with the Karambit too?
Karambit signed by Mr. Beast.
Ooh, wait, that goes hard.
Sure, that seems to be the first interaction that I can tell.
So I guess it's one thing for Lava to win the challenge, and that's the reason why they get into contact with him, but like after that, there shouldn't be any like connection. They, including Kris, should not have been trying to
I feel like their team could still be in contact though,
like that.
for like
but
if he wants to be in another video or something.
I'm not really
but
trying to say that this specific screenshot
Kris should definitely
right
not
here is
have contact
anything
with
more than just weird, but after what we went over in my last video with the drawings and stuff, like it's really weird, let alone having a 14-year-old moderate your YouTube stream. I showed the screenshot a little bit earlier in
I don't
the
think
beginning
that's
of the video, but
that
we're
weird.
going to analyze it now. Kris on March 26, 2018 put out a tweet and he said, "I really enjoy playing Fortnite. Would you guys want to watch me stream?" And then he put up a poll.
Absolutely
and
not.
then Lava responds and he says, "Please stream again," in all caps. Kris responds, "Thanks, Dad. You
I guess when he has a team,
yeah, I really shouldn't have to tell you why this is
what?
weird. Given
Wait,
the code."
wait.
And then Lava responds and he says, "Please stream again," in all caps. Kris responds, "Thanks, Dad, you want to moderate it?" Like, yeah, I really shouldn't have to tell you why this is weird given the ages.
Yeah, that is weird, I guess.
Why? Kris was how old during this? 2021.
Okay, calling a 14-year-old dad is...
literal 14-year-old his dad. Like, I don't know, man. This shit's just weird. Now, it looks like we have some more tweets here that don't look too important, so I'm going to skip past those. I'll show them on the screen anyway so you guys
I never
can
understand why people like...
This is where the really
but
questionable
why
part
though? Like,
comes in which Lava asked Kris.
the second I find out somebody's a minor, I instantly block them. Like, what? It's not that hard. It's really not that hard.
Excuse me? Like, why does Lava know about this supposed hentai addiction?
Plus,
that
he's
Kris
like,
has? Like, it's
quote
really
unquote
odd
famous.
that a
Like, what?
14-year-old knows
You
that
can
a
get
21-year-old has a hentai addiction, and these two happen to be friends.
Wait, bro. I was listening. Run that by me.
2018. Kris, does she know about your hentai addiction? Like, excuse me? Like, why does Lava know about this supposed hentai addiction that Kris has?
What?
Like, it's really odd that a 14-year-old knows that
Oh,
a
nah.
21-year-old has a hentai addiction, and these two happen to be friends.
Bro,
Like, why the
14
hell would you
okay,
tell
at
somebody
14,
who is this
every
age, or
guy's
frankly a
watching porn,
minor,
but like
weird
you shouldn't
sexual shit
you
into
shouldn't
things
be.
that you're into sexually? Like, this is highly questionable, and I don't know what Kris was doing here.
At this point, you already have been talking to this guy. You're already friends with this guy. You already know this guy. And what is he? What are you saying here? So you post
Not
something
guy,
that
kid.
says,
The
"Guys,
child.
you're so close to our goal. Oh my God, one more Patreon and I'm releasing my nudes." And of course, this is some poorly made joke.
What?
I've seen these kinds of jokes online before, where it says, "Oh, if this post
I
gets
beg
one
your
like, I'll
pardon?
kill myself," and then the person likes it.
I've seen those.
It's, you know, this kind of joke. It says a goal of $3. I want to see if anyone is dumb enough to give me money. But of course, it's only
Okay, this
you
is
and
like
this
public
other guy in
Snapchat
this
though,
little
right?
thread.
Ah, god
And this
damn
is
it.
the part I have a problem
Chris,
with.
it's not
This
looking
isn't a
good for you, I'm
group
not gonna
chat.
lie.
This is literally just him and this other guy that he's been talking to and that he's friends with online. He says, Lava says, "I'm your first Patreon, big boy." Now keep in mind, Kris Tyson.
Brother, what?
He was born July 1996, so
Right.
he would have been 22 years old at the time, or around that age. And you have this guy who was born
Hello?
on November 12, 2003. He would have been 14. And of course, here he is. "I'm your first Patreon, big boy," which he's calling him big boy. And,
That is
He
strange.
shows that he donated some money. He donated like $1
What?
or something. So it's not enough to meet the goal.
How do you even
He
have
says,
like
"But not
a form of
$5,
payment at
pathetic,
14?
just
What?
kidding, kissy face."
Bro, I didn't get a card until like
Now, I don't think I should have to explain
16, I think.
why this is bad. And they definitely really, like, the worst look, especially given the shit that we went over in the last video. And I know that this is off topic. I really have
guess
to
you
go
get a
off
debit
topic.
card.
But the amount of people who are in my comments in the last video justifying the lolly, or at least trying to, is absolutely insane. And I'm hoping that when this video comes out, because I'm currently making it, I really hope that this can help change your disgusting perspective.
I mean,
on
I
people
already don't like
this
Kris,
and
so
their weird kings,
You
because
stand
this
to
is
see.
bad. And what we went over in the last video is disgusting.
Nah, Flight
in and
is
of itself.
jumping
Now,
for
when it
joy
comes
right
down to
now.
those tweets where apparently Lava was going to donate to Kris Tyson, I mean, you can obviously try to justify it with a joke, and I wouldn't necessarily say
Okay,
that
who
this
is trying
the
to
most
defend this,
damning
though?
thing
Like,
ever. But when it's coupled with
there's
the fact
no
that,
circumstance you
that
should be
previous
making those
shit
jokes
came
with a
out that I talked about
14-year-old.
in my last video, and the other things that we're currently going over in this video, it's inappropriate behavior, it's weird, and I'm not calling Kris anything more than a huge weirdo who has had an inappropriate conversation with a minor. But like, overall, this is fucking bad.
Yeah, this is the part that I have a problem with, and I'm gonna say this, but if you know this guy is that young and you've been talking to him one-on-one online, and you've been socializing with him and making friends, what is this comment supposed to mean? I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's weird.
It means that you're telling him that.
I will say I was friends with a lot of like adults when I was younger, but
release your nudes or whatever.
we never made jokes
and
about like
you sent him a kiss.
anything sexual. Like what? It's not
Now,
that
granted,
hard.
You could say that this is
Like,
a
what?
joke or whatever. This is bro talk, but keep in mind this is with someone who's like 14,
Like what?
and this is someone who's in college talking to like someone that isn't even in high school yet, really, or if he was in high school, he just joined it. Oh boy.
Why is this guy doing this at a park?
What I'm seeing here is he says, "Wait till my Twitch revenue comes in." Winky face. So you're sending kissy faces. He's sending you a winky face.
What
Premise
the
is
actual?
you're trying to give him enough money so you can get his nudes. Already really weird.
Brother?
Considering the fact that this is one of your online friends and this massive age difference. And of course, it continues. He says, "Check again," and he tags you, I think. At least that must be you, or he's tagging you. And of course, he says, "I posted some fire nudes for you. Please no share." And this is someone that you're talking to that is 14 years old. That you know is
Hello?
14. And at the end of the day, you cannot be talking about topics like this with someone that is this young.
Even if Kris happened to not have bad intentions
Bro,
here,
poor
Kris
Mr.
shouldn't
Beast,
have been
man.
talking
Bro,
to
Jimmy don't
somebody
deserve this
age
shit.
like that, and that's the problem, at least as of right now. Let alone that Kris is frequently on the Mr. Beast YouTube channel and in Mr. Beast videos, where you guessed it, the primary audience is little kids.
That's
But
what I
I mean,
said.
even besides that, once again, he shouldn't have been talking to this person who happens to be underage, and he most likely knew that.
Keep in mind, you're bisexual, okay?
Has been arrested?
You're
I
talking to a guy
don't
that
think
is
so.
14, and you're in college, and the premise here is you guys are
So I don't think
joking
anybody's,
with each
like, pressed
other about
charges.
sending nudes. That's illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? What's it called? It's like soliciting or something like that.
Joking or not, solicitation is solicitation.
Yeah,
there should
that
be
thing.
zero discussion about anybody sending anyone who's
Grooming.
14 years old nudes of any kind.
Bro, what is going on? First we
I
had
don't know.
Dr. Disrespect and now Kris,
I'm
bro.
not
What?
quite sure if
What
you
is
sent this
going
guy
on?
nudes or not. For all I know, this very well could be a joke. But you are talking inappropriately to a guy who is 14 years old and to a guy who you know is 14 years old, and that's what I have a problem with. What I have a problem with here is the way that you're talking to him, the fact that he's asking you about animated pornography, and this is
Yeah,
one of
that
your
is
friends
very
with
strange.
online, which, by the way, you shouldn't even be friends with a middle schooler to begin with because you're in college.
Now, this situation only seems to
think
get
it's-
worse and
it's
worse as
okay
we go
to be
further,
just
because
friends
on
with a middle
January
schooler.
14th, 2019,
Unless, well, I
there
guess
was
since
this
he's bi,
screenshot
it
that was
makes it a
posted
little more
by
weird,
Lava.
but-
Now, I'm not really sure where this picture came from, if Kris sent this to Lava, or if Lava took this somehow, or what, but it's captioned,
Like, I feel like you
"This
can be
is
like a-
bad way to
like a
hide your
mentor
hentai at
type of figure to a
02."
kid.
Now, as far as I'm aware, that is Kris, even though it's a different handle. But yeah, no, it's just so weird that in context to Kris, this Lava guy is constantly like pointing out that, oh, this is a bad way to hide your hentai. Oh, does she know about your crippling hentai addiction? And just things like that. It's just
Yeah,
so
that is
weird.
odd.
Let alone that in 2019, this would have made Lava around 15 years old. Another screenshot of a tweet that was obtained by Prism here is from November 11th, 2019.
Jesus, I just got
It's replying
flashbangs.
to Kris and gamer subs. And Lava said, "I love how I set that embed up so it shows you looking sexy." Kind of a weird comment to be making, especially after all the things that we just
bro?
went over and the things that we still have yet to go over. But yeah, I don't know. On February 14th, 2020, Lava tweeted at Kris02.
Stop it.
"Will you
Oh
be
my God, my
Valentine?"
eyes.
Winky face emoji. Like, I don't know what friends do this over, but yeah, I don't know. On February 14th,
Brother?
2020, Lava tweeted at Kris02, "Will you be my Valentine?" Winky face emoji. Like, I don't know what friends do this. Like, even if it's like a normal friendship and it's not like some weird 7-year age gap friendship, but like, what normal friendship is constantly like this? And I mean, with the given context that Kris was bisexual at the time and still might be bisexual, on top
Hey,
of
all
all
I'm
the
saying
other
is
things
you
that
listen to
have
some
came
of the
out,
things
like,
my
this is
friends and I
highly
say.
suspicious.
Hey,
Here's some unrelated
listen.
replies. This one is from December 25th, 2019.
Not with minors, though.
It's Lava saying, "Thank you, Dad," with a heart emoji.
Okay, that is
Just
weird.
a quick question for you guys in the audience. If you're friends with somebody and you're not gay and you don't have feelings for them and you just have a normal friendship, say like you're a 20-year-old and you got some friends
Wait,
from
that's my
high
age.
school that you still talk to that are around the ages of 19 to 25, just for a little bit of context there. Do you guys talk in this way? Do ya? Because I can tell you right now,
Yes.
I don't talk to my friends
Every
like
single
this. But
day.
I guess also at the same time, I'm not really friends with minors, so. But yeah, no, this is oddball behavior. This is another unrelated tweet that was made on May 12th, 2018, and this was Kris responding to Lava, and Kris said, "Thanks, Lava, love ya." Now, moving a little bit further on, I mean, if I'm Kris right
Okay.
now, how in the hell do I explain this? Lava put out a tweet and said, "Kris bullies me," and then he attached a screenshot of some pinned Discord messages with him and Kris. And Lava says, "Practice with this, at Kris the meme god." And it's a banana, right? And I think we all know what that
Hello?
signifies right there.
Brother,
And this was February of
okay, Kris is
2019, by
cooked.
the way. 2
Oh,
days
it is
before
over.
Lava sent this in whatever Discord this is, Kris sent an image and captioned it, "Lava's mom tomorrow." Like, what the fuck, Kris?
What?
Kris, what the actual fuck? This kid is how old again? This kid? It's a kid and you're how old? Like, okay, you can easily say that this is a joke and whatnot, but these are definitely not things you should be sending to minors when you are an adult. Like, again, it's oddball behavior. Now, it looks like a month before that, on January 13th, 2019, and I know the timeline is like all over the place here, but on January 13th, 2019, Kris tweeted out Lava GS's stream and said, "My friend Lava GS is live on Twitch. Go spam lobster in the chat." Now, I really wouldn't say that this is too bad,
Okay,
despite
that's
the fact that
fine.
Kris has the 7-year age gap friendship with the person who he's shouting out here. Now, as we all know, Kris is a little bit of a memer, so on March 4th, 2017, he put up a screenshot of what looks like to be a message on a 4chan post, if that's what they call them. I've never been on 4chan, or this could be Reddit. I don't know which one it is, but it's a post from Anonymous, and it says, "Objectively, the easiest way to prevent a R word is to start consenting." What can I say, guys? Kris is just the meme god. Am I right? Now, I really doubt this has anything to do with lava, but still. Interesting meme you got there, Kris. Now, anyways, moving on. It doesn't really seem like there's too much proof of this, but Prism goes on to talk about how allegedly Kris and Lava met up. Because if you guys are unaware, Lava is from
I mean, I've
West
definitely said some
Virginia,
worse things,
and Kris
so
is from North Carolina.
I can't
If you
really
don't know
judge
anything about that and how close those states are to each other. Well, yeah, they're actually not too far away from each other.
But
It would be super easy to
then,
drive over to
you know,
that
so
state in like
I can
a few
joke about it.
hours. Now, I'm not saying that anything happened. These are allegations, and Prism is about to do the talking here, but if this actually did happen, that would have been the most insane, disgusting thing to ever happen regarding Kris Tyson. And once again, I'm not saying it happened because I don't know, but if some weird shit like that did happen, it 100% is over for Kris Tyson.
I have no idea.
Yeah, this is rash. Kris is cooked, I'm not gonna lie.
To this guy physically. I can only show that they're
Bro, if they met, it's over. It's over. I mean, it's over already, but like, brother.
There is a vast age difference that he should not have been socializing with this guy in the first place, but he did, and the fact that he was able, like,
all right, is there anything else that we need to
come to North Carolina? Because Winky Face.
Okay, hang on. I actually want to see
It's
this.
already top notch. Why do you want to come to North Carolina? Because Winky Face. Carl simps for me. Who doesn't simp for Carl? I think we all simp for Carl. I know, right, Teehee? Offering to buy me ice cream if I do stuff for him. Why do you want to come to North Carolina? And money.
Yeah.
Sneak me away
I don't know who that
from New
is.
York to North Carolina, that's why. Carl simps for me. Who doesn't simp for Carl? Boy Jedi, why do you want to hide in my suitcase? Sneak me away from New York to North Carolina, that's why. Wait, who is older, Lava or Boy Jedi? You're both 16, right? I'm 16. Jedi 16. Carl reading all the simping, like, at Carl, see you Tuesday, baby girl. I'm in a camper on a hot spot. Imagine being in the woods. Imagine simping over Carl. And of course, here is the Steam account of Kris Tyson. It is estrogen dealer. And they are both friends with each other, Lava GS and Kris Tyson. And as you can see here, the games that they played, it matches up with the tweets that they made. And as you can see, Mangled Pickle is also on there. It matches up with the tweets that they made.
Mangled Pickle, what a name.
He's gonna have to explain this.
Bro, is this guy sponsored by Body Armor or something? Bro keeps playing it bright so you can see the label.
13 years old. So, why is it that not only are you DMing this guy on Twitter, you're Snapchatting this guy, you're talking one-on-one in a voice chat with this guy, but the kind of Snapchats that you're sending, this is the Snapchat that you sent. He said, I get weird snap from Kris, and it's a picture of him making a weird face next to the American flag, and it says,
that is weird.
Coming for America. Now, you might think that, oh man, this must be some weird,
there's only one person that can come for America, and that is Donald J. Trump, alright? You get it straight.
The date right there. This guy would have been like 15 at this point. And why are you sending a 15-year-old a message saying coming for America? Why are you DMing a 15-year-old
that is fucking weird.
on Snapchat? Why are you doing that? Why are you DMing this guy who you've been
Okay, is he
talking
just
to
gonna
since he
yap
was
about
13 on
the stuff he
Snapchat?
just yapped about?
Kris Tyson from Mr. Beast. And here's another Twitter message. Or sorry, here's another Discord message. He said, Kris DM'd me on Twitter asking me to come help him on Beast's stream.
Okay.
Here's another one. And here's a screenshot of Kris Tyson talking to this guy. This ain't
How
true.
is this just now coming up?
And this screenshot is
Bro,
Kris
this
Tyson
man has a
talking
whole
one-on-one with him.
kid, bro.
And at this
Like,
point, he would have been.
Or whenever
16.
people get like exposed for talking in minors, I just
Here
feel
we
weird
go.
about them having kids now.
Here is the picture of them meeting up together. I'm gonna censor his face, and as you can see right there, there's
Wait, they
Carl
met up
right there,
actually?
There's Kris Tyson right there. Kris Tyson was talking to this guy since he was 13. Kris Tyson was in college.
Oh,
course,
shit.
The moment he was able to drive, he takes a camper van out in the middle of the woods.
So yeah, that essentially
Why are
confirms
the birds so
that they
loud?
met up.
Holy.
Now I'm not really too sure if the parents were okay with this or how this really went, but we have Lava here saying in Discord DMs that apparently he's taking.
I mean,
a
I feel like the
camper van
parents
to a
wouldn't,
very
like, expect
secluded area in the
anything
woods
weird
to
from
meet up
Mr.
with
Beast,
Kris
or not
the
Mr. Beast, but like his crew.
And then we get pictures on Lava GS's Instagram with him and Kris and other Mr. Beast members. So yeah, it's very apparent that they did meet up in one way or another. I don't know if anything happened
Yikes.
or what. I really hope nothing bad happened. But yeah, just given the way that he's been talking to this guy and how Kris was into lolly and stuff like that, definitely not a good look.
Wait,
at
Kris
all.
was into-
People are definitely going to be questioning this meetup. Now, I decided to do a little
God.
bit of research.
Oh,
to find
man, this
Instagram
guy.
page, and I was actually able to find it. And currently, it's on
God
private,
forbid.
meaning that you have to follow it to see what's in there,
Ah.
to see what the person posted. But it has the same profile picture and everything, and you can see the age that he provided. It says 20. And then since I actually happen to follow Kris on Instagram, I really don't use Instagram too much, but since I happen to follow Kris on Instagram, it says followed by Kris Tyson. So yeah, we're definitely going to need some answers when it comes down to this, because I'm really not too sure what exactly happened.
All right. Well, yeah, I think it's wraps for Kris. I'm not gonna lie.